This is another example of completing the square. It's actually a simpler version because, again, the middle term, the b term, is even, and there's no leading coefficient in front of the x squared. So this is going to be a little bit more elementary version of completing the square. First thing you want to do is kick that 7 over to the other side. So that's going to give me x squared minus 6x. I want to leave a big space that's going to be convenient, equals negative 7, because I subtracted 7 from both sides. Now, the complete the square process says I have to take half of that middle term. So half of 6, or half of negative 6, is negative 3. Now, what I need to do is, because it's completing the square, I need to square that. Now, 3 squared, or even negative 3 squared, is going to give me a positive 9. When I add 9 to this side, well, I have to add 9 over to the other side of the equation. And that's going to give me 9 minus 7. Well, 9 minus 7, that's going to equal 2 on the other side of the equation. Now the complete the square process goes pretty quickly. I'm going to write this as a binomial squared. And if I were to FOIL this out, x minus 3, the quantity squared, it should equal x squared minus 6x plus 9. So this equals that according to the equation. Now I'm solving it. I'm not finding the vertex. So what I need to do now is the opposite, or isolate the x, which is take the opposite of squaring a number, which in this case is square rooting a number. And when I square root this quantity and that squared, it gets rid of everything. So when I square root this side, well, I have to square root the right side as well. And when you square root both sides, you have to add a plus minus. Now, as I said before, that square root takes care of that square, and that's just going to leave me with x minus 3 equals plus minus whatever the square root of 2 is. And the square root of 2 can't be simplified any further, so I'm kind of stuck with that square root of 2 there. Now, solving it for x, I have to add 3 to both sides. When I add 3 to this side, I add 3 over here. Notice I left a little space there for convenience. And there's my two answers. And most people will accept that as your final answer. But if you want to split it up, that would give me 3 plus the square root of 2. And the other answer would be 3 minus the square root of 2. And that's a good example of where these irrational answers, irrational solutions are like girls going to the bathroom. They always go in pairs.